Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We got some Milwaukee Braves baseball here for you. We got the Braves traveling to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. And we got the starting lineups for you. We got leading off playing center field Gino for the Braves. Batting second playing second Frank Bolin. Batting third playing third Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth playing right field Hank Aaron. Batting fifth playing left field Frank Thomas. Batting sixth, playing first base, Joe Adcock. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. And batting ninth and on the mound is Bob Henley. And we got the battle of the Bobs here because let's take a look at the Cardinals starting lineup, folks. We got leading off playing center field Carl Rorik. Batting second, playing first base is Bill White. Batting third, playing right field is Charlie James. Batting fourth, playing third base is Ken Boyer. Batting fifth, playing left field is Stan Musial. Batting sixth, playing shortstop is Alex Grams. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Jamie Schaefer. Batting eighth and playing second base is Bob Lillis. And like I said, the battle of the Bobs, Bob Henley and versus batting ninth. And the one that pitching for the Cardinals is a young Bob Gibson, folks. So let's get down to the field and get this game started. Hey, Ken. Yeah, let's go Braves is right. See what they can do against a young Bob Gibson. Here's the first pitch from Bob. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. No, it's not. Sorry, he's got the X factor. That's a swing and a miss. Strike three. So Gibson's firing right away. Strike three for Gibson. One out now, nobody on. And that's another swing and a miss. Strike three. Gibson's throwing the heat today, folks, early on. Here comes Eddie Matthews. Can he at least get a piece of this ball and put it in play? And he does. He hits that ball in the center field. Warwick's back there, makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes to Bravos. We go to the bottom of the first. Braves nothing. Cardinals up to bat. Here comes Warwick, White, and James. Here's the pitch to Carl. Just got the last out there. And that's going to be a single in the left field. Cardinals starting off with a runner on at first for Bill White. Here's the pitch to Bill. And that's a swing and a miss. Strike three. The battle of the bombs looks like it's going to be a bunch of strikeouts, folks. Here's James. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field, though. And Warwick will stop at second. So we got first and second now with one out. Brings up Ken Boyer. Here's the pitch to Boyer. And that's going to be a single over short. And that's going to score Warwick. And James is going to motor on down the third. So we got first and third now, folks, with one out for Stan the Man Musial. Braves are looking to turn two here with Stan. He don't run very well now. See what happens here. And that ball is hit down the second. Frank's up with it. Fires over to McMillan, over to Adcock. That is your 6-4-3 inning double play, folks. And wait a second here. Let's go back. What happened here? We didn't score. Go back. Okay. That was a single in the left field. Should have scored Warwick, and it didn't. And now the double play. And there we go. Now we go to the top of the second with the Cardinals up by 1. And we got Aaron, Thomas, and Adcock due up here for the Braves against Gibson. And that's a fly ball in the left field. Stan's got it. 1 out. Brings up Frank Thomas now. And that ball is hit down to third. And Boyer's up with it. Fires across the diamond. And that'll be 2 outs here in the second. And that brings up Joe Adcock now. Nobody on. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Adcock goes the other way. Drives that ball in the right. First base hit for the Bravos. That brings up the other Joe Torre. Can he keep this going here for the Brewers? And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Warwick's got it. And that'll end the inning. Braves leave 1 on, trail by 1 as we go to the bottom of the second. We got Grams, Schaefer, and Lillis due up here for the Cardinals. And that's going to be a base on balls for Grams. He trots on down to first, lead runner aboard. Here's Jim Schaefer. Can the Braves get a double play out of Jim? No, they can't because Bob's not finding the plate, and he just walks his second batter here in this inning. Set up another first and second, this time with nobody out. Here's Bob Lillis. And that's going to be a swing and a miss strike 3. That's a big strikeout for Bob. Brings up Gibson. We're going to let Gibson hit away. Runner's already in scoring position. I hate bunting with that, especially with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Bob. And that ball is hit back to the mound. And Henley fires down the second with McMillan covering. He fires over to first, and that's a 1-6-3 double play. The Braves get out of that mess, folks, with nobody scoring. How about that? I come back to haunt the Cardinals. Got McMillan, Henley, and Gino due up here in the third. Here's the pitch to Mack, and that ball is hit down to Boyer at third. Over to White, 1 out. And that brings up the other Bob Henley. And he pops this up behind home plate. And Schaefer calls for it, makes the catch near the screen, 2 outs. Brings up Gino. He struck out his first time up. Let's see if he can at least make contact. And no, he doesn't. Gibson's got his number so far today, folks. That's 2 strikeouts for Gino, and that'll end the third. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Cardinals 1, Braves nothing. We got the top of the order due up here for the Cardinals. Warwick, White, and James. Warwick singled his first time and scored. And he hits that ball down to Frank Bolin. He's up with it. Fires it over to Joe Adcock. Gets Warwick for the first out. White struck out his first time up. And he doesn't this time, folks. That ball is deep. That ball is back. That ball is going. Hank Aaron turns around and watches this one leave the park, folks. Solo shot. It makes it a 2-0 game. And here comes Charlie James now. And that's going to be a swing and a miss strike 3. Now Ken Boyer's up. Ken's 1 for 1 with an RBI. And he gets a hold of this one off of Bob, folks. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field. Hank Aaron goes over after it bounces off the wall, fires it in. But Boyer standing down at second in scoring position with 2 outs for Stan the man. Stan hit into that double play his first time up. And he pops that ball up on the infield. No, I'm sorry, hits that ball on the ground on the infield. And Joe Adcock's got it. He'll take it himself, and that'll end the inning. But the Cardinals score one on the home run by Bill White, and it's 2-0. You got the Bolin, Matthews, and Aaron. See if they can get the Gibson here in the top of the fourth. Here's Frank. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, and he hits that ball down to nowhere. I think he's going to swing and miss on this one. Yes, he is. That's a swing and a miss. So Bolin struck out twice. Sure. Brings up Matthews now with nobody on and one out. And Eddie takes his base. Bob thought he struck Matthews out, but he didn't get the call on that 3-2 pitch. That brings up Hank Aaron. One swing of the bat, and this game could be tied, folks. Is it hammer time? No, because that's ball 4, and all of a sudden now Gibson can't find the plate. Sure, we got first and second now for Frank Thomas. Got Matthews down at second, Aaron down at first. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that ball is lifted in the left field. It's too shallow for Matthews to tag up. That's 2 outs here in the fourth. They got to take advantage of these walks here. Here's Joe Adcock now with 2 outs. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Can he go 2 for 2 and get the Braves on the board? That is a no, because that ball is hit down the second. And he'll go to short way over to Grams to end the inning, and the Braves leave the 2 walks on board. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's still a 2-0 game. You got the bottom part of the Cardinals order due up. Grams, Schaefer, and Lillis. Here's the pitch to Alex. And that is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 1 out here in the fourth. Here's Jim Schaefer. He walked his first time up, and he pops this one up behind home plate, right up the chute. Easy play for Joe. That ball wouldn't have been a home run in a phone booth, folks. And that's a quick 2 outs. Now we got Bob Lillis up, and that ball's hit down to Eddie Matthews at third. He plants and fires across the diamond, and 1-2-3 goes the Cardinals. We go to the top of the fifth. Still a 2-0 game. Torrey, McMillan, and Henley due up here. Let's see if they can make some noise. Hey, Philip. And here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. That'll be out number 1 here in the fifth. Well stroked, but Warwick County played perfect. Brings up Mac. Mac's 0 for 1, grounded out the third his first time up. And that is hit down the short. Grams muffles that ball as bad as you can, and he'll eat it and not throw it away. But McMillan's standing down at first with 1 out. Hudley's going to try to sacrifice him in the scoring position here, folks. And I don't think he's going to do it, because he pops that ball up, and Schaefer makes the catch. And he's going to fire down the first, and Bill White's covering it, and that'll end the inning, folks. So Henley pops up the bunt, and that ends the inning. Sure, Braves ain't having no luck here today. We got Gibson, Warwick, and White due up here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch to Gibby, and that is hit down the first. Adcock's got it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. And that brings up Carl Warwick. He's 1 for 2. He scored in the first inning. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. Eddie Matthews calls everybody off, makes the catch. Quick 2 outs here. Can they do 1, 2, 3? Here's Bill White trying to stop that from happening. And no, that's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout for Bob Henley. We go to the top of the 6th. It's still a 2-run game, folks. We do got the top of the order up here for the Braves. See what they can do here in the 6th. Here's Gino. That ball's lifted in the right field. James takes a few steps to his left, makes the catch near the line. That's one out. At least he got a piece of it. Here's Frank Boland. He's 0 for 2, and he struck out both times. So let's see if he can at least put it in play. He does. He hits it down to Grams. Grams doesn't mess this one up. He fires over to White, and that's 1-2 go to Braves. Here's Eddie. Eddie walked his last time up, flew out to center. And that ball is ball 4 again. Gibson thought that was strike 3, and he walks Matthews again. He's nibbling around the corners and ain't getting the calls. Again, that brings up the hammer. Is it hammer time? Can the Braves tie it up with the Hank? No, they can't, because Gibson gets the call this time. That's strike 3, and Henry Aaron goes down on strikes, folks. They leave Matthews down at first. We go to the 6th inning. It's 2-0 Cardinals. James Boyer and Musial do up here. Here's the pitch to James, and he squares this one up, folks. And he hits that ball in the right field, goes the other way with it. Nice piece of hitting. He's standing down at first with nobody out for Ken Boyer. Ken's 2 for 2 with a double and an RBI. And they finally get him out as that ball's lifted in the air. The Thompson, Frank out in left field, makes the catch. James retreats back to first. Here's Stan the man. He's not having a very good game. He's 0 for 2, grounded out into a double play his first time and grounded down the first. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. The man goes down swinging, folks. That's 2 outs. Here's Alex now. Grams is 0 for 1 with a walk, struck out his last time up. And that is going to be hit down to Frank Boland. And Frank's going to go to short way over to McMillan to end the inning. And James is stranded down at first, folks. We go to the top of the 7th. Braves trailing by 2. You got Thomas, Adcock, and Torrey. Can they make some noise against Gibson and get on the board here? Bob's pitching a one-hitter. Not anymore, because that's a nice shot into left field by Frank Thomas. Frank's got himself a leadoff single. Brings up Joe Adcock. See what he can do here. He's 1 for 2 with a single and reached on a fielder's choice. And that ball is swung on and missed, strike 3. Adcock goes down. 1 out here in the 7th. Here comes Mr. Joe Torre. Joe's 0 for 2. He's flown out the center both times. And he didn't fly out this time, folks. He squares this one up. And that ball is driven into the gap in left field. And Frank Thomas is going to have to put the brakes on at third. We're going to have second and third now, 2 outs. For McMillan now. See what Roy can do. Can he drive somebody in here and get the Braves on the board against Gibson? They're going to bring the infield in here, folks. That ball's hit back to Gibson. He looks Frank Thomas back to third, fires over to first. And that is 2 outs now. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Headley. Let's see who they're going to bring up to face Gibson. I think it's going to be... I think Lee May's going to come out here and pitch hit for Bob Henley. Try to get the... I didn't hold the runners up. Darn it. Didn't hold the runners up. Do an undo here. Grounder back to the mound. go. Now we'll do the pitch hit here for Bob. Bring Lee May on. With second and third and 2 outs. All righty, can May tie this game up with one swing of the bat here? And that's a base on balls. Gibson walks him, which I can't kind of blame him because he's had so much success here against Gino. With the bases loaded, can Gino deliver here? Or do we pitch hit for him and bring out Spangler in? That is the question. Gino's 0 for 3, struck out twice. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to pitch hit here for Gino and bring out Spangler in the bat. And Al will stay in the game. Well, Al might not stay in the game. Lee may stay in the game and play. And foul doesn't get on here. So let's see. Here comes Spangler up now for Gino. See if this pays off. Here's the pitch to Al. Bases are juiced. And that's a base on balls. Bob Gibson walks in the run, folks. Sure. How about that? Spangler draws a walk. Gibson is fuming out there. Squares the ump is screwing up, shrinking the strike zone. That brings up Frank Bolin now. They go out and try to calm Gibson down. He's still got the lead. It's 2-1. He's got Frank Bolin up now. Frank is 0 for 3. Struck out twice, grounded out the third. Here's the pitch to Frank. A base hit here gives the Braves the lead probably with May down at second. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Bolin gets the hat trick. And Gibson gets out of it with only 1 run scoring. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Let's see here. Got Schaefer, Lillis, and probably a pitch hitter for Gibson. See who the Braves are going to bring in here to pitch. And see what they're going to do here with the lineup. Like I say, Lee May might stay in the game. And we'll put the pitcher in the leadoff spot. And I think Raymond's going to come in here to pitch. I think that's what they're going to do. May will stay in the game. You know what? It's only one's position. Spangler. We're doing it that way. May staying in the game. Spangler's coming out. So Clyde will go into the number 1 hole. And now we need a left fielder, or a right fielder rather. What we'll do is we'll put Hank in center field now and put Lee in right field. Moving everybody around, folks. Gotta love the pitcher batting. So May will stay in the game and play right. Raymond will come in and be the leadoff batter. And here we go, folks. Braves trailing by 1 now. We need Raymond to get through this inning, not let anybody score. He's got Schaefer, Lillis, and like I say, probably a pitch hitter for Gibson. Here's the pitch to Schaefer. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Not what you want if you're a Braves fan. You just got this to a 1-run game. That brings up Bob Lillis now. Nobody out. And that's a base on balls. Geez, you Peach Raymond, the last time he came in a game, didn't get a single soul out in the 9th, folks. He's struggling again. Definitely going to have a pitch hitter here for Gibson. Let's see who they're going to have the pitch hit here. I think they're going to go with Joe Cunningham's going to come out here and pitch hit. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Sure. Mr. Cunningham. He's got Richie and the gang in the seats, along with the Fonz cheering him on. See what happens here. First and second. Nobody out. They desperately need a double play here or a strikeout. And they don't get either, folks. What they get's another base on balls by Raymond. Jeez, you Pete's, the bases are juiced. For Carl Warwick, they're going to bring the infield in. They can't afford another run here because they haven't been hitting worth a crap. Here's the pitch to Warwick. And that is hit down the short. McMillan's going to come home with it. And that'll be the first out of the inning here, folks. They get the runner at home. That brings up Bill White. I don't think they're going to be able to double up White. You got Warwick down at first, so they're going to keep the infield in. And that's a ball, and Joe Torres gets thrown out of the game for arguing with the umpire, folks. So that's a 1 ball, no strikes on Joe. Not what we wanted here. Joe gets ejected. So I have to bring in a new catcher. Sure. So give me a second here as we bring in a new catcher for Torrey, since he got thrown out of the game arguing the balls and strikes. So neither team's too happy with the umpire here. Gibson's been thinking he was being cheated. And now Joe Torres thought that was a nice pitch. Gets thrown out. Did I look at that wrong? Hold on 1 second. I might have looked at that wrong. I'm sorry, folks. I looked at that wrong. That was a 641. That's a 24. Let's see here. That should have been with the infield in. That should have been a double play. That ball should have been hit back to the short. That ball was hit down the short. Sorry about that. I read the wrong darn thing. I read 23 instead of 43. The ball was hit down the short to set home to first for an inning double play. All righty. Read the right crap marks. So Joe stays in the game. That gets him out of the inning. Sure. And we go to the top of the 8th. It's still a 1-run game, folks. All righty. And he's going to come out here and pitch for the Cardinals. I think they're going to bring McDaniels out here to pitch. So McDaniels is going to be facing the heart of the lineup. You got Matthews, Aaron, and Thomas due up here in the eighth. Here's the inning. I think the Braves have got to make the noise. Here's the pitch to Matthews. Excuse me. And that's going to be popped up in the infield. Boyer calls for it, and that is one out. Here comes the hammer. See what he can do here. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's going to be popped up in the infield. And again, Boyer calls for it and makes the out. So they're just getting under these pitches by McDaniels. See if Frank can square this ball up a little better than his counterparts. He does. He drives that ball in the right field. He chases James back near the warning track, but he makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the bottom of the eighth. It's still a 2-1 game. You got White, James, and Boyer due up here for the Cardinals. Here's the pitch to Bill White. And that is hit in the right field. Lee May's out there now. He makes the catch for the first out here in the eighth. That brings up James. James is 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. James is having a heck of a game, folks. 3 for 4. Standing down at first for Ken Boyer. Ken's 0 for 3. He's grounded into a double play, grounded out the first and struck out. And that's what the doctor ordered for the Braves. That ball's hit down the short. Over to Bolin, over to Adcock, 6-4-3. The double play pays off again for the Braves. We go to the top of the ninth, folks. We got Adcock, Torrey, and McMillan due up here for the Braves. And they're going to let McDaniels pitch here. Here's the pitch to Joe Adcock. He's 1 for 3. And that ball is hit back to the mound. McDaniels has got it. Fires over to first. 1 down. That brings up Joe Torrey now. He's 1 for 3 with a double. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field. He's chugging around first. And Warwick goes over and gets it, fires it in. Joe slides in safe at second. So we got Torrey's down at second in scoring position for McMillan. Mack is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to third. Reached on an error and grounded back to the pitcher. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. McMillan's out of there. And we got Lee May up now. He is 0 for 0. He walked his first time up. Can he get the key base hit here? Keep this game alive. Braves are down to their last out. And that ball is lifted in the right field. James got it. He's camped under it, waits for it to come down. And that ends the inning, folks. The Braves lose 2-1. Great pitching by the young Bob Gibson. Bob Henley. Nice job, too. Let's take a look at the box score here, folks. Braves lose a tough one. Braves turn 4 double plays to keep this game close. Sure. The Braves 1 run on 4 hits and no errors. The Cardinals 2 runs on 8 hits and an error. It was the bottom part of the lineup that did the damage. Thomas, Adcock, and Torres. Joe, like I say, 2 for 4. Joe had the RBI, or Spangler had the RBI walk. Yeah, the RBI was a walk. The top of the order did the job for the Cardinals. And Ken Boyer, 3 for 4 with an RBI. Bill White with that solo home run. Bob Henley pitched his guts out. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts in that home run. And Raymond came in and had a shaky beginning, but got lucky with some double plays. 2 innings, 2 hits, walked 2. And Bob Gibson pitched a masterpiece. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, walked 5, struck out 7. And McDaniel came in and got the save. 2 innings, 1 hit, and struck out 1, folks. Nice job. Let's go to the fast play here. We got a double hitter in Chicago. Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, says it's a good day to play 2 against the Cincinnati Reds. And Ernie's not even in the lineup. So let's see what happens up here in Cincinnati. I mean, in Chicago, in the Windy City against the Reds. And the Reds win a close one. 7 runs on 13 hits and an error. The Cubs 6 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. The Reds are going for the sweep. Can the Cubbies stop them? Let's see if Ernie plays in the second game. No, Ernie doesn't play in the second game either, folks. And the Cubbies shut out the Reds. No runs on 3 hits and no errors. And the Cubs 4 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Nice piece of pitching by Curtis. And we got the Giants traveling to Pennsylvania to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, it was a decent game. I thought so too, Ken. And the Giants blow out the Phillies on a shutout. The Giants 10 runs on 17 hits and an error. And the Phillies no runs on 2 hits and no errors. Sure. How about that? The last game here on the 28th is the Dodgers taking on the Pirates in Pennsylvania. And the Pirates win. The Dodgers 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. And the Pirates 7 runs on 12 hits and 1 error. And I don't believe the Yankees or the Braves play on the 29th. So let's check that out. No, they don't. So let's do some fast play here on June 29th since neither one of them plays. We got a few American League games here. We got the Senators taking on the Indians in Cleveland. And the Tribe win a close one. The Senators 6 runs on 13 hits and 2 errors. The Indians 7 runs on 12 hits and an error. We got the White Sox finishing up here in Detroit, taking on the Tigers. And the Tigers win. White Sox 4 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The Tigers 7 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. We got the Baltimore Orioles traveling out to Kansas City to take on the A's. And the Orioles win 6-4. Let's see what the star is here. The Orioles score 6 runs and left 14 runners on base. Must have been a hell of a lot of walks. And he had 7 hits and scored 6 on 2 errors. The Athletics 4 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. Let's take a look at this box score. Like I say, they must have walked a boatload. Let's see who was pitching for the A's. They walked 11 batters. Jeez, you Pete's. Crazy. Here's a base on balls. You get a base on balls. Everybody gets a base on balls. And the last American League game here on June 29th is the Boston Red Sox traveling to Minnesota to take on the Twins. And the Twins win. The Red Sox 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors, and the Twins 9 runs on 10 hits and an error. We move to the National League here on the 29th, and you got the Reds finishing up in Chicago taking on the Cubbies. And the Cubbies shut out the Reds. The Reds, no runs on 6 hits and an error. The Cubs, 4 runs on 10 hits and no errors. They shut them out in that second game of that doubleheader, too? Yes, they did. Both games 4-0. So the Reds all of a sudden can't find the bats. Shut out 4-0 back-to-back games by the Cubbies. We got the Giants and the Phillies playing a doubleheader in Philadelphia. Here's game number 1. And the Giants win the first game, 6 runs on 10 hits and an error. The Phillies 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Here's the second game of this doubleheader. Can the Phillies come out here with a split? No, the Giants sweep the doubleheader. 14 runs on 13 hits. Cepeda 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs, increases his RBI lead in the league. The Phillies 6 runs on 13 hits and an error. And the last game for June 29th is the Dodgers at Pittsburgh take on the Pirates. Sandy Koufax is on the mound for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers win a close one. 6 runs on 12 hits and 3 errors. And the Pirates 5 runs on 8 hits and an error. Let's take a look at the standings now after June 29th. And the Tigers are 3 games back on the Yankees. Orioles are 5.5 games back. Twins are 7.5 games back. White Sox 9, Angels 11.5 games back. Indians 14.5 games back. Boston Red Sox 15 games. Senators 21, and the A's are 23 games back. And in the National League, the Braves got a 3.5 game lead now over the Giants as the Reds fall to 4.5 games back. The Cardinals are 5 games back. The Cubbies are back to 7.5 games back. The Pirates 9.5 games back. The Dodgers 10 games back, and the lonely Philadelphia Phillies are 20 games back, folks. Rocky Calavito still leading the league with a 351 average. Roger with 30 home runs. Norm Cash has taken over the RBI lead over Bill Skowron with 75. And in the National League, you got George Altman with a 364 batting average. Willie Mays now is leading the National League with 23 home runs over his teammates. Felipe Alou with 21 and Orlando Cepeda with 20. And Orlando with that bunch of RBIs is now 10 up on Eddie Matthews, 70 RBIs on the season for Orlando. Jim Bunning still leading the American League with a 1.84 ERA. He's got 13 wins. And Luis Aruro's got 16 saves for the Yanks. See about the National League. And the Reds pitching staff is still dominating, but their bats are leaving them down, folks. They got the 2 ERA leaders in Perky and Jay. And Jay's got 9 wins on the season, tied with Warren Spahn. But their bats are leaving them down. Norm Cash is leading the league now in MVP voting in the American League. Orlando Cepeda's leading in the National League. Jim Bunny's got the lead for the Cy Young, and Warren Spahn still got the lead in the National League in the Cy Young. Let's see who the Braves and the Yankees take on the 30th here, folks. The Senators come to New York to take on the Yankees, and we got the Big Reds coming to Milwaukee. Now the Reds are in third place. That could have been a battle for first. Might still be. So both the Yankees and the Braves travel home, take on the Senators and the Reds. I want to thank Ken Castro for stopping in. Philip Reynolds, check out his channel. And if you're new to my channel, folks, hit that subscribe button, and on your way out of the stadium, hit that like button and leave a comment. And have a great day. Until next time, y'all take care.